Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the last video we add the front edge of our storefront, the homepage of the storefront, and we have a bunch of elements added, okay? And in this lesson we'll start to add more components. We're gonna start with the My Account, where user can register, log in, and forget a password, okay? So let's just go ahead and do that. First, come back to our storefront application and go to components, and we're gonna generate a new component which will be called My Account. So in this My Account, it will be something similar to this My Account, which is a project that I had in the other course, the complete e-commerce one. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and take that one, and you can compare, the difference between the two. Basically, it's pretty much similar projects. They're both bookstores. It's just they use different architecture. This one use, Timeleaf and Spring Boot, and all kind of stuff. And then this course we are doing right now use Angular 2 as front-end technology plus the REST services. So basically it's a RESTful application plus Angular 2. Right? So there are different architectures, and then you can compare the advantages, disadvantages of the both approaches. But generally what we're gonna do here, we're gonna create a new account. Here you're gonna type in username and email. After you click on the button, there'll be a email sent to your email address providing your username and a temporary password, and then you can log in. After you log in, you can come to a add information page where you can change your first name, last name, username, and password, email, etc. Okay. And also there's a tab here about forget password. Basically it's similar idea. You're gonna get your username and a temporary password. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So come back to our text editor. We're gonna open our My Account component, and we're gonna import something. First, we're gonna import a router. From add Angular router, and now we're gonna have login service from services login.service, which we haven't really added yet. And we have user service from services user.service, which we haven't added as well. So let's go ahead and create those two services. And what we can do is go to services, we don't have the folder created yet, so let's make that folder, make the services, and we're gonna create a new service called login service, and we're gonna create a user service as well. Let's come back to our service folder, and we have login and user service. That's good, and we're gonna bootstrap that from our app.module.ts. Okay, so here we're gonna import the login service dot services login.service, and then we're gonna do another user service from services user.service, and then we're gonna add that to the provider list like we did before. So those two services will be available, okay? And we're gonna define several variables. One is server path, and this comes from a constant, app constant, okay? So let's do something like this. Go to app folder. So this is at app folder level. We're gonna make a new there called constants. City constants. Okay. Well, actually, let's go to constants. Right click on the new file, and we're gonna say export class app constants and public static server path equals to http://localhost 8181. Okay, save as app-const.ts. So this file is used to save whatever parameters that we would like to use. So that in this case, whenever we want to use a path, we can just fetch it from the app-constant.serverPath. So this is good because if we want to change the server path, we don't have to change everywhere. Okay? You just need to change the place here, and everything else will be changed as we are using a variable to replace that. So this is different from admin portal, because in admin portal, what we did is just type in the hard-coded URL, which is not very flexible. So I just want to show the difference, and I do it in the storefront. Okay. And we have another login error, which is boolean false login equals false. We have a credential, username, password. So everything will be initialized and is empty for now. And we have email sent, false, username exists. You don't really have to say false because by default it's gonna be false. I just want to write false is more clear, even though people know it is false by default. Email string, and we have email not exists. Forget password, email sent, and private email string. So we have a lot of variables because we're taking care of 3 tabs. Okay, new account, login, and forget password. And then we have this constructor to create the instance of this login service. Private router, and we define a onLogin. This login service send credential This is the credential dot password dot subscribe. Oops. It should be here. And we have rest and error. Local storage dot set item x auth token rest.json.token. This dot login equals to true. Location dot reload. This dot router dot navigate to home. And if there's error, we're gonna just say login equals to false. The login error equals to true. Okay. So again, this is should be familiar. We're basically calling this login service to send credentials and using the username and password that user has typed in. And after we have subscribed, basically we get some response and we're gonna send the token to local storage of the browser, and we change the variable of login to true. And then we refresh the page, and after that we navigate it to our home page. Okay, if there's an error, we know this login is not successful, so login is false and the login error is true. And this login error will pop up some message say username and password invalid. So we haven't added this login service send credential method yet, so let's go ahead and do that. So there are a couple of things we need to import. Import observable from React.js. Observable app constant from constants app constant router and Angular router. Then here we're gonna define a server path like we just did. HTTP router, and we're going to define send credential. So this should be pretty much the same as we have done in the admin portal. Okay, I'm running this again just to walk you through the process again so that you can have a better memory. Encoded credentials. Remember why do we need to encode that? Because it has to be passed with username plus column plus password in the base64 form. And we define a basic header equals to the capitalized basic space plus encoded credentials. Let headers equals to new header And here we're gonna define a content type as application slash x-www-form WRL encoded. Okay, the letter case are very important. Same here, basic header. All right, then we're gonna just return this.http get request URL headers. Again, we'll have this check session. Let me just copy this part. The URL will be check session. Here, we don't need we just need to have the header of x of token, and we're gonna get it from local storage.get item x of token. Okay, and now we're gonna return and then we have the logout method, which is similar to check session. It's just path would be user logout. The method would be post plus some empty value here. Okay, so that's our login service. Alright, that's pretty much for this lesson. We're hitting the limit of the timing. We'll continue in the next lesson. See you guys in the next one. Bye.